Yeah. What's up? What's good? What's poppin'? What's crackin'? What's percolate? What's really good in the hood? It is your man Theo Bully. I know it seems like I'm lacking on energy. It seems like I'm slacking on energy. That's all right. We're gonna do something about that. It is Wednesday. What a week it was Wednesday. Before we begin, like, share, subscribe. You like, leave a comment. You don't like, leave a constructive comment. I'm in here by myself right now. That's all right. That's all right. I need a little bit of time. I needed that right there. Oh man, this is some great coffee. Shout out to the Kimoyo King. Oh man, this is some great. Hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, what's going on? I tell them what's going on. Yeah, I think we got a great show tonight. At the end of the day, we might be lacking on the entertaining, but it will be thought-provoking. Can I say that thought-provoking? No, I ain't gonna say that. What we gonna do is we gonna have a great show tonight. We gonna, as my brother Big D would say, that pause, that didn't sound right at all. As my brother Dora would say, you know, edutainment is his thing. We gonna make it do what it do. Let me see. We got two. That's a crew. So, little light dialogue. I see other talk show folks doing this where they got dialogue. Who? Look, my wife can whisper her ass off. Like if the FBI needed somebody, CIA, one of them agencies, she could be standing right in front of you, nose to nose, be whispering. You won't hear a word she's saying. And mind you, I didn't told her that. And for whatever reason, she'd be like this. I can't hear you. You know I'm going deaf. Oh my God. Now she hand signaling. Just say it. Okay, well then I ain't gonna hear it then. Cause you finna say, oh, okay. I'm not gonna get it.
Do I need to go to the store?
No, if you want to, that's on you.
Okay, that's what I want.
Do she need to go to the store? That was the question.
It was a certain store.
The smoke shop? We do that on Friday. Friday night vibe. Bring what you drink, bring what you smoke. Oh man, yeah. We needed that one. That's how you get the show started, right there. Oh man, what we got going on? Oh man, could you imagine somebody telling you how you need to look, how you need to conduct yourself, and they ain't never done what you done? Could you imagine that? Oh man, So the Secretary of War, he and his folks called a meeting yesterday, called all the generals, and I just find it fascinating the words that we use. Dog say he ain't want to see no fat people. Which if you don't want to, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. There you go, my elder, Mr. Ray Smith. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. You don't want to see no fat people. You don't like fat people. I ain't know we was using that word because I thought that's body shaming. Like, I ain't think we was still using that terminology, especially somebody in that, never mind, because you can be in the position, but if you got a childlike mentality, you got a childlike mentality. That's it. One of the folks that was at that gathering yesterday, if we gonna use the word fat, his ass fat. Like, I just be looking for some consistency. That's all. I just be looking. You don't like folks that look like they overweight. Hey man, listen, that's a personal opinion. You got a right to feel that way. I just be like, here we go. Prime example. Best way I can use this. I like me a sister. I started to say woman, but I prefer my sisters. Darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Ladies, see how I say that? Darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. You know what I mean? You ain't ever got to worry about Theo. You ain't never got to worry about me. Anderson Butler, he did that a long time ago. Dark and berry, the sweeter the juice. I like me something midnight black. I do. I do. Ooh, Lord Jesus. You see the cup? So if you ain't ever got to worry about me, no, you don't. Now, mind you, I ain't the only one of us that feel that way, but what you can't do is be mad if I holler at your woman, but then turn around and be mad if I ain't trying to holler at your woman. So you can't do both. you can't do both. Let me go ahead and break my glasses out and everything like that. Darndest thing, they had to sit there and listen to it too. So he didn't say anything about Humpty Trumpty. No, nothing. Nothing. And I'm sitting up there, I'm looking like, because I just think at some point in time, we just need to be honest with ourselves. You can like folks all day, every day, twice on Sunday, right? But if you see somebody and they like, be honest with me. Damn all that. Be honest with me. If I start getting a little round, say something to Theo. Say something. Don't be telling Theo he look like he in good shape and I'm looking like a damn turkey getting ready a butterball on Thanksgiving. Don't do that to me. Keep it a buck with me. Keep it a buck with me. Keep it a buck with me. That's all I'm asking. Oh man. Thank you, Kimoyo. Thank you, Plant Poppy. Oh man, tag team on that. Tag team on that. It's a lot going on. It is a lot going on. Jimmy Kimmel then returned to late night television. Folks upset. Hodge twins catching hell. Deputy Do Right catching hell because he kicking the bobo with the folks in Israel and everything like that, and that's pissing off the folks over here in America that he was kicking the bobo with and everything like that. Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes is going back and forth, and Nick Fuentes is going above and beyond to expose Charlie Kirk's wife as an opportunist. And I'm sitting over here looking like, ain't none of that got nothing to do with us. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with us. Y'all doing all that on your own. And when I say that ain't got nothing to do with us, I mean, we don't claim the Hodge twins. We don't claim Candace Owens. And we don't claim Deputy Do Right. We don't claim fake and fraud. We don't claim them. Them your people. Them your people. I know Nick Fuentes want to call them token blacks, but them your token blacks. You want them, you got them. They can't. Let me make sure I keep up with what we got going on in here and everything like that. I want to thank y'all so much for pulling up. Y'all did not. How does that feel? Like if you the Hodge twins and you go above and beyond to do what you're doing, and you publicly send the email, send the Twitter tweet out there, and the dude say, "God bless the Hodge twin." I need a follow-up video. Like I need the follow-up video when you get turned down. Like the capping video, I know you're gonna give me them. But when you get turned down and you get the egg on your face, I need that video right there. I don't know why I don't never get them videos and everything like that. With Deputy Do Right, I get him talking about us and everything. When I say that, I get that. I get all the videos of him talking bad about us. I ain't getting none of the videos where he caught up in the middle right now. Like I ain't getting none. I need that right there. I need that energy right there. Equal energy. Yeah, you going through it. Y'all going through it. Fake and fraud. Dude, oh my God. I ain't know. You shout out to App and Preach. Oh man. Shout out to y'all and everything like that. Shout out to Reese Waters. Like, do you know how thirsty you got to be up in a racist thing on Twitter? You know the meetings we be having on Twitter and everything like that. And the dude call you out your name and tell you not welcome. And you still feel like, boy, look, you talk about Calvin, Lord have mercy, Jesus. And I'm not talking about the movie It. Or that Stephen. Lord, you, golly, Lord, That's like telling the girl who then cheated on you. I'm speaking from a man's perspective. Excuse me. That's like telling the girl that then cheated on you, then gave your money to the dude she then cheated on you with. You begging her to be with you, telling her you would do anything for her just to be with her because she the best damn thing going. And she dogging your ass out. And you ain't even worth her dogging you out no more. God, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. That's like I said, it's been a week. It's been a week, and I got my elder here. I lean on him and Miss Grand Madam Tarot for stuff like this and yonder. But I saw a video today, and there was this European. Yeah, I'm gonna stop using color. There was this European pastor talking to his congregation. You say I did that? Yeah. Caucasian, European, Asian. Yeah. We're not gonna use color no more. There was this European pastor talking to his flock, if you will. And I don't know if you watching what I'm watching. Probably not. But there are pastors, European pastors, Caucasian pastors out there and everything. They see it. They see the signs, and they asking, hey, they looking at their brothers and sisters like, hey, we being judged right now. Like I'm like, yeah, y'all sure are. I don't know how you read the Bible. You done read the New Testament. You done read the Old Testament. I don't know how you done read Genesis, and I don't know how you done read Revelation. And you ain't sitting up there understanding that yes, you are being judged right now. You are, and because you ain't learned your lesson, because the person y'all going behind is not a God-fearing person, ain't led by God or nothing. Y'all going, y'all being Eve so bad. Y'all being, you know what? Thank y'all so much for pulling up. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the show because that's a nice little segue. That's a nice little segue for what we got going on tonight. Like I said, we got a great show. I'm gonna greet everybody. I want to make sure we get this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me go ahead and greet everybody that's here and everything like that, because I don't want to be a rude host. I was raised better than that by my family. We got Nitellum in the building. Oh, he of difficult questions. Nitellum. Mr. Ray Smith, my elders in the building. My big brother D Real is in the building, and Mr. Paul Martin, an OG, is in the building. Yeah, y'all go ahead and Maxine Shaw then pulled up and everything. Professor Film Fan then pulled up. Michael still seems to be the only sensible Black Republican who has a voice. Yeah, thank you. You remember politics? Y'all remember that? Politics. Not Real Housewives of nothing. Politics. When we wanted to get stuff accomplished, we just disagreed on how to go about doing it. You remember politics? That's crazy. Because as old as we are, when was the last time our country really talked politics? Yeah, Theo. I'm gonna call this the "It was Barry all alone" segment. It was Barry all alone. It was Barry all alone. You're like, Theo, no. So because I'm not gonna do this color thing. So a few years ago, several years ago, however you want to look at it, America, greatest melting pot on earth, let folks tell it. Land built on immigrants, slaves, right? That's what that is. Native Americans, right? Had this brother, I call him a brother, biracial. Look, we're not using race, right? We're not using color, multi-ethnic. Multi-ethnic. His mom is from here. Born right here, his mama. Daddy was born in Kenya. Now, I don't know where folks got mad about this, because I thought like half of him is you. So that means half of you with half of you is magna cum laude. Like your half. Like if 50% of what I'm saying is that he did some stuff I'd have thought you'd have been proud of that. I would have thought folk would have been proud of that. He did some stuff, right? Right, because part of him, 50%, 50. Folks got mad. Now, the damnest thing is I didn't understand. And I don't believe I was the only one. I didn't understand how Arnold Schwarzenegger, not being born here, I did not understand that. Not being born here, I didn't know how he became the governor of California. I'm like, damn, you ain't got to be no American citizen. Like, just me off in the cut. Feel me? Just me off in the cut. I'm thinking to myself, damn, you ain't have to be born here to run for political office. Nobody said anything about illegal aliens, immigrants, nothing. I'm looking at, I get it. You Conan. I get it. I understand it. You do. You know, what name of the movie? Predator. I didn't understand this because I'm like, the governor of California should sound like the governor of California. The governor of California sound like he the governor of Australia. Like I ain't understand that. And nobody said nothing. Nobody got mad. Nobody tripped. I don't even remember it being a talking point. I don't remember it being a talking point. I do remember when Barry ran, it all of a sudden, where you born at mattered. And I know some folks said, tried to tell me, well, it's the difference between the governor and the president. Ain't they both still political offices in America? Help me out. Ain't they both still political offices in America? So you mean to tell me because the governor is closer to us than the president is. So you mean to tell me it's okay if somebody that's not born in America is the governor, but somebody who's at least one of his parents was born here, it's a problem? Oh my God. The whole birther movement, folks lost their mind. And while you had never really heard, you know, we got the whole thing in New York with the Central Park 5, which, mind you, I don't understand if your deputy do right. The Hodge twins, Meek and Maud, young Rupert. I don't understand how when you know that legacy sits right there, that history sits right there, what you're telling me is you looking past that. What you're telling me is you looking past Emmett Till. Like, that's what you're telling me. You looking past Road Woods. You looking past all types of American history. That's what you're telling me. And I'm sitting up there like, and they don't like you. They don't like you. And with American history right there, you will still go above and beyond to participate in the nonsense. So you don't think you can be president? You think Deputy Do Right think he'd be a good president? You think Meek and Maven think they would be good presidents? Do you think Candace thinks she would be a good president? I'm just asking questions because clearly what we got going, it was Barry's fault. That's all I'm saying. It was Barry's fault because folks had lost their mind. Folks done lost they ever loving mind. And it go back to Barry. They mad Barry got elected twice. 52-59. 52-59. I go back to Pete Hedgesworth, and I get it. The general sitting up in there. All I'm going to say to y'all is this. 52% of y'all that was sitting up in that room when that dude was undressing y'all like that, 52% of y'all voted for it. That's what I got to say. 52% of y'all voted for it. And it's quite a few of us aware that 52 to 59% of y'all voted for that. So, and we know what we did. we know what we did. So what y'all got going on, yes, you being judged. You being judged. And all we had to do is just sit here off to the side because we ain't got nothing to do with this. Don't come to our campuses no more. Don't come to our campuses no more. You have to be a citizen for a while first, depending on the office. You know what? Appreciate that. Shout out to King Cam pulling up. Make sure y'all check out his Ujamba podcast. This is me, and this one they gonna say Theo, because folks like to call me a liberal. Well, if you watch where I go with this one, if you weren't born here, you don't have a parent that's an American citizen, you don't get run for office. You don't get to run for office. But see, I would double down and make it even worse. If you don't, because see, we talk about job qualifications. I'm a firm believer in job qualification. You feel what I'm saying? See, folks be talking about DEI. That's the damnest thing. If we're looking at DEI, it is literally the Trump administration. No, if you gonna run for political office, you need to have a degree in political science. I'm looking at all that. I'm looking at all that. You need to have all that. You need to have a degree in political science. You ain't got no degree in political science. You ain't got no degree from college. You ain't graduate college with at least a 3.0. Hell no. No. That's the problem right now. We got unqualified people. People. See what I just said? People. We got unqualified people in positions because we like them. Don't know whether or not they like us, but because we like them, 52, 59, we got unqualified people in positions. It is what it is. It is what it is. I want to thank King Cam for pulling up and everything like that. Kissinger was Secretary of State and he was foreign. Isn't that fourth or fifth in line of succession of prayer? They would have had to skip over him. Yeah, man, listen. Cam says it's even worse on the local level. Yeah, see, I'm conservative. For you to hold a political office in America, one, you need to be an American citizen, born here, or have a parent that was born here, parent or parents that was born here. You don't have that, you can't do that. To hold a political office, you need to have a degree in political science. I'm so sick and damn tired of hiring dumb folks. I don't know how I elected an actor to be president and then acted surprised that stuff went left. I do not know how I elected a felon. That's the other damn thing. We got to stand on what we're saying. If you can't hold a political office as a felon, you're a felon. I don't give a damn if you like or not. I don't care. I don't give a damn if you the best thing smoking for your party. You're a criminal. No criminals should run for political. No criminals should be allowed to run for political office. I don't care who they are. That said, the person that's in office right now, as far as I'm concerned, is a criminal. He does not represent what American ideology represents unless we're saying we're fine with criminals being the president of our country. That's a criminal. Judged and convicted. Criminal. Now, folks like Theo, no, I'm going to keep it a buck. What some folks are doing for Donald is what them same folks would get mad about if we did it for Louis Farrakhan. Moving right along. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button if y'all don't mind. If y'all don't mind, y'all go ahead and hit that. But like I said, we got a great show going on tonight. At the very least, I think we do. Let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's topics. Game time. That's going to be interesting. Are you the hero or the villain? Comics this week. Absolute Green Lantern, issue 7. Absolute Evil, issue 1. That's what's up. Justice League Omega Act. Interesting. Kristin Swanson. I know y'all might not care. Never mind. We talk about it. Emphasis on being born in America. We already dove into it. And who's really the N-word? I like this right here. So, game time. Y'all remember that from ESPN? Game time. Was it mail time? Maybe something. So, America 2025. Y'all see it? Y'all live it? Fine, cool, we here. We read comic books. You read comic books. I read comic books. Yeah, we all read comic books. You ain't seen cartoons? Superhero cartoon? Anime? You seen it? I have. I see it. You see where we at right now in America? Right. We got police. We got military running the streets. You ever seen this movie before? like, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't see this movie before. I just had no idea I was gonna be in it. I'm like, you seen it. We've seen it. We've seen versions of it and everything like that. Whether we talking live action or whether we talking animation, authoritarian state. We've seen it. We watch news clippings of it. You know, it's always another country. You be like, remember when Ukraine and Russia first started off and everything like that? Remember that? We ain't gonna act like that because folks want to act like stuff. And there was a dude running a paramilitary outfit in Russia that got deleted after, making his presence felt in the Kremlin in direct opposition of somebody. Yeah, that's what happened. But anyway, they had their paramilitary patrolling the streets of Moscow. And what do we have going on right now in America? We got paramilitary patrolling the streets of DC. I didn't know I was going to be in the movie. I had no idea. I'm sitting here, folks be like, Theo, you don't go nowhere? Hell no. Why? Because the world outside my front door is losing their damn mind. I'm looking up here and I'm saying to myself, so you mean to tell me you as a citizen, because I believe in talking about personal experiences. So as one of the 59%, 52, 59, what's your day-to-day experience that this is what you felt like you needed? Like, no. Damn all the propaganda and every damn thing. I don't give two damn about that because folks talk. No. Because I know what my day-to-day experiences are. Can we keep it a buck? Proximity crime, right? By and large, I'm always home. By and large, I'm always home. I know who the folks are that live around me. The majority of them look like me, but I'm always home. I'm always home. I don't see a lot of crime outside my front door. We got crime. We got folks like other people got folks that's gonna act stupid. But I don't see. I ain't got it. Personal experience. Personal. Daughter get up and go to school. She ain't the first child I didn't put in school. She's the third one. Got another one coming right behind. Because folks like to use the word radicalization. I ain't the perfect parent. I make mistakes. I'm only human, flesh and blood. Oh man, shout human league. See how we do that? See how we do that? A brother singing lyrics from a song, from a band, a group that don't look like him. See how we do that? That's that diversity that I'm talking about, that difference that I love right there. Y'all need to get over yourself. But anyway, my daughters go to school. They didn't experience some stuff. They have. Dad didn't taught them some stuff. Mama's didn't taught them some stuff. Then went to college. Ain't nobody deleted nobody. That's what they dad showing them. Dad had all the videos and everything. Black History Month. Oh, Lord Jesus, you need to know we were watching Black History Month, African American History Month, African American History Month. You need to know, good Lord Jesus, have mercy. We was watching all the African American video, whether they be funny or not funny, whether they be tear jerking, not tear. Oh no, we gonna get this history right here. We gonna get this history right here. Ain't nobody deleted nobody. They got all them lessons. They didn't be in the car with their father when law enforcement has profiled their father. They've been, ain't none of them girls ever thought about, oh Lord Jesus have mercy. No. Go to school, get education, become a professional. That's what that is. I'm not perfect. I'm not the perfect parent. I'm not the perfect parent. So, Theo, what are you saying? I'm saying you got to take accountability for how you're raising your child. And I think it's safe to say some folks out here raising their children do some stuff they ain't got no business doing. So we're going to ask the question, this reality that we living in right now, are you the hero or are you the villain? Just think about the reality that we in right now, right? We got trucks, right? Military. Who would you be? Or rather, I got the question. Here we go. What would, if you seen this in a movie, if you seen this in a movie, what would you think about the people, the characters? If you saw this play out in the movie, I'm just asking now, if you saw this, what's going on for real? If you saw this play out in a movie, who would be the villains in your opinion? I'm trying to see something, because I'm like, if I write this, if I write this, right? If I write this, which I could do, some folks not gonna understand the role that they playing. Like you wasn't a hero in this movie. You realize this, right? You not the hero. You see how you acted. You really remember Superman, James Gunn, Superman. Folks was kind of like upset. I'm like, if you got a problem with folks not from where you from, and that's the only reason why you dislike them, distrust them, you not Kal-El. You've never been Kal-El. You're Lex. You're Lex. You need to get you need to understand that, and that's always been your role. So I'm looking now and I'm like, are we living in Metropolis or are we living in Latveria? That's the question that I'm asking. Are we living in Metropolis or are we living in Latveria? That's because I know when you in Latveria, you gotta do some, you gotta move a certain type of way. You gotta watch what you say and everything like that. Because you really can't oppose Victor. You really can't. You really can't do that. And I'm looking at us, and I'm comparing us to the Kremlin, and I'm looking at us going more and more down the road of Russia than who we used to be. Like we starting to resemble them a lot. And I ain't know if that's the direction we wanted to head in, but that's a great question. But sadly, they're so delusional, they wouldn't think that they're the villains. King Cam said the irony of it was the founding fathers had an issue with having a military for this reason. Absolutely. In my government class, we're reading the Federalist Papers and the Constitution. Yeah, I'm just, you know, remember the movie with Bruce Willis and Denzel Washington? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that movie? That's why I keep asking, is life imitating art or is art imitating life? I know what it used to be, but I'm just like when you ain't ever served in the military and you walk into a room full of military generals and you tell them, because you can do, stop lying, telling folks you can do that physical fitness test because it all sound good to somebody throw your ass out there in the fire. You see what world we living in? That's like me never having played football. And this is the one time I'm gonna go here. That's like me never having played football, never having picked up a pad, never having worn a helmet, never having read a playbook telling NFL veterans, Hall of Famers, if you will. Y'all know what the hell y'all got going on. Y'all out of shape and everything. Why y'all ain't putting more points up on the damn board when y'all playing the damn game? Y'all sorry as hell. And then Buddy said, if you got a problem with him, he'll fire you and take your rank. 59% of y'all, 52, 59. I don't know what y'all was thinking, and I ain't finna sit up here and act like there aren't racists in the military, separatists in the military, American military. No, there are. I don't know what y'all was thinking. Yes, I do. You never thought he'd be talking about you. That's exactly what that was. You never thought he'd be talking about you. Well, too bad. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. King Cam said accountability. They don't want to hear that. I don't know why. Ain't nobody around here perfect. Ain't nobody around here perfect. You got to get it. Everybody else got to get it. You know what? We're gonna slack off a little bit because we could talk about serious stuff all night long. We could. I want to take the time to inject a little levity. We all got to pass. You got to pass. I got to pass. Earth got to pass. We do some things. We got some things going on in our past that we're proud of. Some things we got going on in our past we're not so proud of. This is what it is. So you got the young lady, Kristin Swanson. And I don't know necessarily what the number is, but apparently her body count number is too high. I said Kristin Swanson because I want to talk to the ladies this evening. Because ladies, I don't want you to be ashamed of your count. I don't. I don't want you to be ashamed if that number is high. I don't. The only thing, if you're gonna be ashamed about, is whether or not you should have been with them folks. What you mean? I mean, what I'm saying is, if the interaction was great, ladies, and you had 60 interactions, and the majority of those interactions were great, I don't think you should regret nothing. I don't think you should regret nothing. I don't. You enjoyed yourself. And that's the name of the game, right? It's supposed to be anyway. So, Miss Swanson, the only way I think you should regret it is if the majority of those interactions weren't good. That right there. That right there. Comics this week. Moving on to the next one. Absolute Evil. Did y'all check that out? Did y'all check out Absolute Evil? It came out, one shot and everything like that. I read it. Got the formation of the Injustice League, because their mindset is that what's going on in the absolute universe is the injustice to the absolute universe and how it's supposed to run. And they are actually in the Hall of Justice, or at least a version of the Hall of Justice. So I think we got Joker, who ain't laughing, didn't transform in that issue. Hector Hammond, got him. Who else we got? Ra's al Ghul, we got him. And we got a brutal off-scene deletion of Oliver Queen. If anybody ever wanted to know what would be the outcome if him and Hawkman ever got into it, brutal scene. Keeping the party rolling, what we got going on right here and everything. Make sure we are doing what it's doing. We're not in here for a long time tonight. We ain't got but two people. So I got this one thing that I wanted to ask. I want to do a deep dive on this, if y'all don't mind. Who's really the N-word? James Baldwin. See, I told you I was gonna give that Kristin Swanson thing, inject a little levity, then come back. I want to do some deep diving, some deep thinking. I ain't seen the brother be active on YouTube in a while, but shout out to Kaiser Coach Slevin. Cognitive dissonance. Baby boomers, Generation X, we say when you know better, you do better. Who's really the N-word? Now, I had somebody tell me, a Caucasian, a young Caucasian male, say, Theo, race is always on your mind. That's because it's always in my face. I keep hearing words like white and black, and they only pertain to two groups of people. I don't hear words like yellow, brown, and red. Damn sure don't hear red. I don't hear red nor yellow. Like, no, I don't hear that at all. I hear black and white a lot. So you gotta excuse me if for the majority of my life, I've literally had race thrown in my face when that's literally a man-made construct. But now, and looking at the stuff that's been going on, the divisiveness that we're doing, nobody wants to say that this crime is color on color. No, we want to, because folks don't want to own it. Folks don't want to own it. They don't commit crimes. That's why it's always called something else. No, that is what that is. You want to call it something else, but you're not calling it anything else on the other sides, not sides of the fence. No. That's crime. That's color on color crime. That's what that is. Well, I've always known there's more to me than the color, especially when those colors don't apply. I understand what Smokey Robinson said, but I think Smokey Robinson, that statement, his poem, as beautifully as it is a product of his time. And I don't think Smokey cared about the knowledge part of it. James Baldwin, he wrote this book. It's a video out there. I think it's being narrated by Samuel Jackson. I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube. I Am Not Your Negro. Here it is, 2025. understanding that neither Niger nor Nigeria existed as countries. We still want to call ourselves that. We have our children today calling themselves YNs. Some of us even go above and beyond to call our children YNs. It's the damnest thing to me. But I want to do a deep dive. Understanding that the word made its way in regards to us, what, around the 1830s? Right. It's my daughter calling here. She probably thinks I'm done live, but I am not. Hey, girl.
Hey, are you in the thing?
Huh?
Are you in the thing?
What, doing a live?
Yeah.
Yes. You at work or home?
Oh, okay. I'm at work. It's fine.
Okay. I'll call you back. So, it's my daughter. Like I said, we all got kids, right? Right. You know what? Does that dispel a myth? That right there, me having a wife and children, because I know what some folks like to say about us, but does that dispel a myth? Like, am I special? Am I the exception to the rule? So anyway, James Baldwin. Like I said, I've always known there's more to me than a color. I really want to say the pride that I have in myself isn't drawn from a color as much as it's drawn from a connection to the motherland. So I've never been, and I apologize if that offends some people, troubles some people and everything like that. The color thing ain't ever really been a part of my DNA. Neither has their color. I've never acknowledged it, to be truthfully honest with you. Not when I can read your bio, and your bio proudly tells me where your family is from. Your bio proudly tells me where your mom is from, your grandmom is from, your granddad, your dad, your great granddad, and it ain't from here. It ain't from here. So I'll be trying to figure out where all this arrogance, this hubris comes from when I know better, but I'm not special. I don't believe I'm the only one that knows better. I don't believe I'm the only one that cares enough to know better. Well, there are others that have asked questions similar to what I've asked, James Baldwin being one of them. I never understood the whole preoccupation with us trying to take the energy out of the N word. When I look at slurs, and folks want to use slurs, that's crazy. You want to use your freedom of speech to hate speech. That's a waste of energy, but hey, here's what it is. But racial slurs exist for every race. But I knew at a young age they didn't fit. I knew they were wrong, morally incorrect, beneath me, if you will. If I had to insult somebody, I didn't need to use that. Let me use what truly fits. They don't use the slurs against one another. They don't publicize them. You don't read them in periodicals. You don't read them online. They'll go off on each other all day long. You see folks go off on each other, folks that look like one another all day long, and they never use a slur to insult one another. That's us. Not all of us, though. I came across James Baldwin when I was going to school at Florida State. I had read some of his writings prior to my major in creative writing, communication. There's actually, like I said, video footage out there. I think Dick Cavett sat down with James Baldwin back in the day. I could be mistaken. But his take on the N-word, he addressed it by primarily flipping its power and burden back onto the people who created it, which I find to be interesting, because I'm like, when you think of something that's despicable, heinous, evil, you're thinking of it. You're imagining it. You're creating it, and it's coming out of the deepest, darkest recesses of your soul. Nobody else's. That is the absolute truth. If as a writer, I sit here we go, Alien Earth, what does that tell you about the creators of the show? It says a lot. The creatures they chose, the looks for those creatures that they chose, the way those creatures act on the show, it says a lot about the people that created them. No differently than the superheroes that we read in the comic books. What does it say about Joel Shuster to create Kal-El? What does it say about Jack Kirby and Stan Lee to create a character like Eric Lenshear? Didn't they create the Red Skull? So who created the N-word? Right. James Baldwin breaks that down rather nicely to me. And to me, I believe that is how conscious thinking comes into play. He argued that the word says nothing about the person it is used against, but reveals everything about the person who uses it in the society that invented it. The burden of the word in the 1963 documentary, Take This Hammer, Baldwin confronts this idea directly in a clip titled, You're the N-word, baby. It isn't me. He tells a companion, a European companion, Caucasian companion, that the word is a projection. For Baldwin, the word is not a quality inherent to an African person, an African-American person, but a fabrication created by Europeans, Caucasian people to justify their cruelty and maintain a sense of superiority. That lines up with Lieberman and Blumenbach creating race in the first place, which I never understood. Like I said, if you have an issue with Europeans, Caucasians, you feel like they can't be trusted, then why are you constantly answering to something they created? That makes no sense, especially when it disparages you and yours. Baldwin's inversion of the word's meaning carries several important ideas. The invention of a racial slur is a moral failure. Baldwin challenged European Caucasian people to examine why they felt the need to invent such a term in the first place. You ever felt compelled to come up with a slur for somebody else? As long as you've been living, you ever thought to insult somebody based on where they're from? Or most of the insults based on how their body is shaped or some stuff that they've done that's embarrassing. The word is evidence of a moral sickness in the society that requires it. It reveals insecurity. In his analysis, people's attachment to the term was a way of reinforcing a fabricated superiority, which is what race is. It's fabricated. It does not exist. And I don't know how to answer to something that I know isn't real. I can't even have a conversation, factual conversation, white versus black. You know, you're not white. Where are you from? Huh? People that say huh can hear. See, you know, based on my skin complexion, I'm not from here. Well, I know based on your skin complexion, neither are you. So where are you from? That's how we get past it. That's a step in the right direction. Stop acknowledging their whiteness. You're not from America. You talking to me? Oh, you're not from America. Your ancestry doesn't start in America unless you're a Native American, and you're not claiming that. You keep telling folks you're white. Well, you're not from here. Oh, Lord, whoa. See, I got to give my baby a hug. I know what this is right here. Lord Jesus, have mercy. www.fixitjesus.com. Yeah. I'm going to hold that up. Y'all know that's that Hungry House sub. Can I say that on the show? They're not going to do no sponsorship. Let's get back to it. The word becomes their consolation, a heavenly revelation that no matter how terrible their own lives are, at least they aren't black. And how many people we seen vote against their own right? They voted against their own interest just to do what? Not vote for the person of color. Why? Keep going. The word becomes their consolation, a heavenly revelation that no matter how terrible their own lives are, at least they are not black. A black person's self-worth is independent of the word. A person can only be destroyed by believing that you really are what the world calls the N-word. And how many of us have adopted that philosophy and still adopt that philosophy in 2025? When did he do this? And we're proud N-words. And we will go above and beyond to embrace that mindset. How many of us got platform? I'm proud to be an N, encouraging our future generations to embrace that same mindset. And what is an N normally? Loud. Could be entertaining. Definitely loud, though. Not subject to be knowledgeable. Loud, yeah. Entertaining, possibly. Insulting, heck yeah. They're going to insult. They're going to curse. They're going to be loud because that's what the end is. And I'm looking at my brothers and sisters. I'm like, you're acting like the way he wants you to. In some insane way of thinking, you're depowering the word. That test failed a long damn time ago. We need to get a new one. Or we could do what Asian people have done, Native Americans have done, brown people. We just not use the color. But I get it though. And this is the sad part. They've gotten us to the point where we will claim the color and not claim the land, which is an indication for the land which represents the color. Stay right there. We will claim the color, but not claim the land that's responsible for the color. We'll sit up here and say we free Black Americans, but won't claim the color that's a reason for you being Black. We will not claim the continent. That's a reason for you being called Black. So you're going to claim Black at the expense of not claiming the origin of Blackness, Africa. Why? Because you don't know what tribe you came from? We throw money away every year doing other stuff that ain't got nothing to do with our genealogy, our ancestry. But at the end of the day, because of what they call you, because of how the world, this country views you, you know you're not from here. You're from Africa. And you can stand up and claim it all day, every day, without knowing the specific tribe. But I get it. You don't know what tribe. So you feel uncomfortable. Well, that was the grand master plan, for you not to feel comfortable claiming the motherland. You sitting up here claiming the color, while even in their bio, they claim their ancestry. Well, what's the shame? What's the harm in you claiming yours? I live in a state where Ron DeSantis caps for being an American, but in his bio, he's from Italy. His family fled the Italian diaspora, him and his wife's family. So they know who they are. They know exactly where they come from. I get it. You don't know, but at the very least, you know you're not from here, and you know you come from the most beautiful continent on the face of this earth. And you won't claim it, but you will claim the color associated with it. As my brother Dora would say, make it make sense. Because black ain't associated with any other continent besides Africa. That's it. If you say you black, you're claiming Africa. You cannot do one without the other. But that's what they want you to do. They want you to hold on to the color. Don't hold on to the continent. Don't hold, because there's nothing there for you to hold on to because you weren't born there. The devil is a lie. It's quite a few folks in this country that weren't born in the country of their ancestry, and they still got a connection to it. Shout out to Chadwick Boseman. Don't let nobody else tell you nothing different. Baldwin frequently used, hold on, let me get right here. Let me repeat this. A black person's self-worth is independent of the word. A person can only be destroyed by believing that you really are what the world calls the N-word. By rejecting the belief behind the word, a black person can preserve their dignity, their identity, and their dignity. You need me to read that again? By rejecting the belief behind the word, an African American person can preserve their identity, African American, and dignity. The word in Baldwin's work and its legacy, Baldwin frequently uses the N-word in his writing to quote bigots directly and to explore its devastating psychological effects, as he did in his 1963 book, The Fire Next Time. The use of the word for pedagogical purposes has since caused controversy in modern academic settings. Baldwin's analysis extends beyond the word itself to the broader language of racism. In his essay, If Black English Isn't a Language, Then Tell Me What Is, he explains that language can be used to classify and disempower people. Yes, the invention of the N-word, that's what it is an extreme manifestation of this political instrument, a testament to the brutal need for a language of oppression. They say when you know better, you do better. I said they say when you know better, you do better. We know race is man-made. And this is when I look at all the pro-black folks out there and everything like that. You know it's man-made. Why are you still using the color? There's only two demographics that hold on to the color. It's black and white. I know why they doing it. It's a lie. Their bio, their ancestry, their place of heritage sits right there in their bio. I get it. They know specifically where they come from, and we don't. All we got is the continent. That ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. Because see, there's power in that. The identity that he was talking about, you can't tell me to go back where I come from unless you gonna go back where you came from. And you didn't come from here. You don't own it. You have no ownership to this land based on the dudes who invented race. They excluded you from America when they did it the first time and when they did it the second time. They said you were white. You don't run nothing around here. But when they also said it, they said it for us to be inferior. I'm sorry, I'm not inferior to anybody. I'm not inferior to anybody. I'm not. And I've looked at my skin complexion since I've been living. that black crayon ain't ever matched. No different than that white crayon ain't ever matched them. What you saying, Theo? I ain't never seen a white man. I'm going to say it with my chest. I ain't never seen a white man. I seen a Jewish person calling himself white. I seen an Italian person calling himself white. I seen an Irish person calling himself white. I seen a Scottish person calling himself white. But that's all they doing, calling themselves white. You ain't white. You ain't ever been white. Just what? Just because you say so? Two dudes from Germany said it. Well, Germany ain't got a good history to be saying anything about where anybody is from historically. So why am I going off the strength? And that's what we be doing. Why am I, as a self-aware African-American male, going off the strength of two German dudes who only invented race to prop up people that look like them? No, damn it, I got to know better at some point. No, I got to know better at some point. I'm looking at my leaders right now and I'm saying, damn, I ain't the only one that's knowing this. I ain't the only one that's knowing this. We should all be sitting up here talking about, I'm a proud African-American. Notre Dame sits right there. And if you watch college football, you know what you don't say. You don't say that's the white school. You say that's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. You absolutely right. So where's our pride from? The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Irish. Where the Fighting Zulus at? Y'all don't get me to talking. Where the Fighting Zulus at? Because the Boston Celtics. They proud. They ain't called the Boston Whites. They're called the Boston Celtics. Brigham Young University. They're called the Cougars. That's a religious school. They ain't called the Brigham Young Whites. No, they know exactly who the hell they are. Now I get it. But at the very least, we know we come from that continent. But we don't want to claim the continent. We just want to claim the color associated with the continent. They say when you know better, you do better. It's 2025. It's 2025. You can't have a conversation with me about race. No person. You can't have that conversation. What you got to tell me is why you think you better than me because you from Italy. Why you think you better than me because you from Ireland? Don't tell me you white. I ain't trying to hear that. That's a man-made construct, which I will no longer be acknowledging. The issue is some of us want to connect to America. And watch this, Big Cam. You can. We can. No differently than they do. You can be a proud African American. They are proud Irish American. See, that's the whole thing. They're not denying their lineage. They're not denying their ancestry, nor are they denying their place of birth. No, they got them good. They're like, no. I'm Irish American. You get them all to the side. Ron DeSantis, Italian American. Ain't no color there. That color only come up when somebody got a microphone in front of him and his wife and his family's face and everything like that. Off in the cut, they are celebrating, acknowledging their Italian history, culture, ancestry in their home. Ain't Donald Trump got Hitler's playbook by his nightstand? He's a German American. You want me to say that one more time? He got Hitler's playbook by his nightstand. He's a German American. He's engrossed in his German history. German. So even when he sit up there and say white, black, no, he get his orange tuna can face all to the house. That dude know he German. Well, at the very least, you know you African. Take pride in that. Or you should. We should. At the very least, he know. At the very least, you know you African, and you know the world don't move without you. That ain't me saying trying to act like that or nothing like that. No, it's the influence. It's the influence. If think about, and when I say influence, y'all gonna be like, Theo, don't do it like that. No, do you see how far folks have to go to put up negative propaganda in regards to us as a people? Say what? I'm gonna say it like this. You human, I'm human, you got sense, I got sense. You ain't ever got to work hard to keep somebody down that ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. You ain't ever got to work hard to keep somebody down that's lazy and ain't doing a damn thing because they're lazy and ain't doing a damn thing. You ain't got to work hard to keep somebody that's shiftless and lazy. Yeah, that's the whole onset of race. And that's how they described us with the word black, shiftless and lazy. You can't be trusted and you ain't finna do a damn thing. Well, you know what? Why would you go to another continent to get folks that's lazy and can't be trusted? I'm gonna ask that question again. Not tell them says I asked difficult question because that terminology, race, black, that came up before slavery. Right. Okay, here we go. So if folks from that continent are lazy and cannot be trusted, why would you go over there to get them to aid you in building up another country? Don't make sense. But that's what you said, though. I'm neither lazy nor shiftless. No, I'm of the mindset anybody that would go get free labor, that's a moral issue because you don't want to pay anybody to help you tend the land that you swindle from another people. That's another moral issue. You would be the ones that would be lazy and cannot be trusted. What did James Baldwin say? What did James Baldwin say? You look inside yourself to create that word. I ain't ever looked at. I've been living 57 years and I ain't never tried to think of a word to insult another group of people. I don't even know if I got it in me to go that deep diving. Like, let me get in. See if I can come up with something disgusting, heinous. I don't know if I got that in me. I ain't never went to go see either. Oh, let me see. We will only call that when we start working for free. Absolutely. What's going on, Married 77 Defender? So I said all that to say this because we gonna get on up out of here. It's 10:45. I came here for a good time, not to be confused with a long time. Race is man-made. It's a man-made construct. It always has been. It always has been. And they say when you know better, you do better. Now, this might be uncomfortable for me. I said this once before and folks got upset. Well, I don't care if you get upset this time around because last time I spent the block on this, I did it to make everybody else feel comfortable. Well, what about me feeling comfortable? I don't like being called black. You could like it, but I know we didn't come up with that word for us. Somebody else did. And when they did it, it wasn't a compliment. No, it wasn't. Not only that, I do know my ancestry. I know I do go back to Africa. I do. My lineage does not start right here in the continental United States of America. It doesn't. But does that mean I'm not proud of being born in America? Oh, no, I am. I'm just aware enough to know my ancestry continues here. It doesn't start here. It doesn't originate here. I'm an African American. And I've always been proud of that. No differently than somebody is proud to be an Irish American. or an Italian American. And I'm sorry if I make black folks feel uncomfortable, because see, somebody claiming where they're from never makes a white person feel uncomfortable because they know where they're from. Well, I don't know who else needs to hear it. And I don't know if you care or not. It's not my problem. It ain't my concern. I know my history. And my history does not start in the continental United States of America. It starts over there in Africa. And if that's good enough for the Asian American, that's good enough for the Southeast Asian American, that's good enough for the Native American, and that's good enough for them when they're not around us, then being an African American is always good enough for me 24/7 and twice on Sunday. I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm letting it be known they could never have a conversation. Nick Fuentes, no, white, nothing. Where you from? And your last name tells a lot. Bill Maher, white, where you from? Charlie Kirk, yeah, bad. What happened was bad. Where you from? And it ain't America. Will Kane, it ain't here. Where you from? Where you from, big dog? It ain't here. And when you stand 10 toes down with it, watch how things change. Watch how things change. When you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. Let me see. Let me keep up with these notes here. King Cam pulled up. You have to be a citizen for a while first, depending on the office. Cool bean. Kissinger was Secretary of State and he was foreign. Isn't that the fourth? Ah, damn, that's crazy. It's even worse on a local level. King Cam says, in my government class, we are reading the Federalist Papers and the Constitution. That's what's up. If felons can't vote, they can't run. That's another topic, because quite a few folks voted for a felon, and you got felons in your family who can't do that. I tell you, voting against your own interest, you not looking out for you and yours. You looking out because you mad at Barry. And Barry literally represented half of you. Well, let me rephrase it. Half of Barry, Barack Obama, represented the biggest and brightest out of y'all and couldn't see it because y'all were colorblind. Colorblind, color struck. What you did not appreciate was the fact Barry was half you. And that says a lot. Graduated magna cum laude, that was somebody to be proud of. That was the thing to sit up there and say, oh yeah, that's us right there. Half of that's us right there. You couldn't even appreciate that you had somebody that was half you, knew what the hell they were doing. No, because of what James Baldwin said. Stuck on color and that disgusting thing that you came up with to describe us. And that's actually how you out here acting right now. It's your judgment day. It ain't ours. it ain't ours. Let me see here. The issue is some of us want to connect to America. And like I said, I connect to it. I was born here. I joined the American military here, the Marine Corps. So you can connect to both places. I think that's the problem they not understanding. The folks they look up to, they are connected to two continents. The people they worship, the people they want to blindly run behind. You can be a proud American, no differently than they being a proud Irish American, German American. You could be proud. Who told you you couldn't be a proud African American? Who told you that? Let me see. USA has become more racist since Trump. That comes from Maverick 77 Defender, and there's no lie to him. And why is that? This regime is the regime of inferiority. That's that cat that puts together a flag football team. They got the ball, they got the equipment. and they want to start at quarterback, and they hot garbage at quarterback. But because it's their ball, they put the team together. They're like, if I ain't quarterbacking, we ain't got no team. No, you one person. You suck at quarterback. We gonna go over here and start our own team. There's 6 of us. We can find somebody else. We got a quarterback. We can pay for our own damn ball. What we not gonna do is let you ruin our damn team because you ain't put the work in. You don't know what you're doing, but you think because you got some money, you're supposed to be running every damn thing. Well, like I said, I said it earlier. My mindset is you shouldn't be hired for a political office if you don't have a degree in political science. You shouldn't be hired for a political office in our country unless either A, you were born here, or B, your parents were born here. Other than that, no. See how conservative that is? I know they don't want that. If you are a convicted felon, no, you don't get to vote. You lost that right to vote when you was out there committing them crimes. You got judged. That's what that is. No, anybody aiding and abetting a convicted felon in executing their non-right to vote should also be considered a felon and arrested as well. Anybody hiring an illegal immigrant should be arrested. Anybody housing an illegal immigrant should be arrested. And when I say illegal, they ain't even started the process. See, if you didn't start the process, I ain't tripping. See how conservative that is? But now, that would mean Donald would be locked up. Kid Rock would be locked up. It's quite a few folks that aren't immigrants to this country, legal or illegal, that would be locked up. So don't ask me if I'm conservative or liberal. You might not want to find that. You might not want to find that answer out. Or degree in law. Yes, King Cam. Or degree in law. One of them. No more celebrities. No more actors, actresses. No athlete. I need to know you know what the hell you're doing. I need to know you went to school for it. That's what they're not the party animal. Not the party animal. And don't make me be strict and say you got to at least have a 3.0 GPA. Yeah. I need that. I need at least a 3.0 GPA. Degree in law, political science, 3.0 at the very least, a 3.0 GPA. You ain't got that. You can't run for political office. You can't run for mayor. You can't run for governor. You can damn sure can't run for president. You might be able to get city council. That's it. Y'all like, damn, Theo, yeah. Because I don't like being around stupid folks. And right now, we got a lot of that going on in our country. That said, listen, I'm out. It is 10:55. We came in at 8:30. We're going to get on up out of here and everything like that. Listen. When you know better, you do better. Don't do it because it sounds good. And I get it. That's what it is. It sounds good. Don't do it because it sounds good. I ain't lied about nothing that I said on this live. It's just a question of whether or not you want to do it. Well, when you know better, you do better. And the epitome of stupidity is doing the same damn thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. Let's try something different. Let's not acknowledge the color anymore. Stand 10 toes down with it. Make them tell you where they're from. They make you. Don't acknowledge the color. You know better. Don't acknowledge their color. Oh, I don't want to hear that damn thing about you white. No, where your people from? And make them own it. Make them own it that they have no claim to this country any more than anybody else outside of a Native American. You don't have it. Your mama and daddy, your grandmama and granddaddy, your great-grandmama, great-great-granddad, they not from here. You do not originate from here based or the two dudes you keep running behind to tell me I'm less than nothing. Remember, I'm shiftless and I'm lazy. That's what you said. Well, based on that, them two dudes that you quoting, you're not from here. You're not. Hold them down to that. Be proud of being an African American. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And I know some of us are going to say, well, Theo, suppose I'm not from Africa. Then you telling me you Native American. Where's your tribe? So that's the other thing. Somebody sent me that the other day. Well, you got African American. They were taken from America. No African American was taken from America. I get it. You want to be something else. Well, if you're something else, then be something else. If you were taken from America, you're not black. You're red. If you were taken from America, you belong to a Native American tribe. What is it? You want to be everything else but black. Well, damn it, if you're going to be everything else but black, that's fine. Claim it, own it, but speak it. Stop claiming Africa, storing stuff out. No, damn, get you. Never mind. Never mind. I'm about to get upset. I ain't going to do that because some folks want to be stuck on stupid. No, just because you were born in a rural town, born in the country, don't mean you got to be stuck on stupid. It don't. If you from America, then you're a Native American. What is your tribe? English is not your native language. Why you don't speak? Because the tribe still exists here in America. The tribe still exists here in America. So if it's 2025 and you're saying you're originally from America, then where's your tribe and why don't you know your culture? Because you're telling folks your culture is African. No, it's not. No, it's not. So that's it. I'm out. Take pride in where you're from, just like everybody else takes pride in where they're from. When you know better, you do better. Let's level up our knowledge. Refuse to be dumb. We out. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. Those of y'all, I know, we really ain't had that much going on tonight and everything like that, but I want to thank the people who still pulled up and everything like that. Kimoyo pulled up. Not telling pulled up. My elder, Mr. Ray Smith, pulled up. King Cam. Y'all make sure y'all go check. But dropping knowledge all the time. He go to school for this. He go to school for this. Maverick 77 Defender, thank you so much for pulling up. Thank you. Not telling, he of the difficult question, pulled up and everything. Mr. Paul Martin, thank you. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. My brother D-Real pulled up and everything like that. It is What a Week It Was Wednesday. Tomorrow, my brother D-Real has his live that he's dropping. Grand Madam Tarot had a live that she dropped early this morning. And I think King Cam has a Ujamba live up on his channel. Y'all make sure y'all go check it out. Shout out to my brother on Second Street Marvel and everything like that. We making it do what it do. Not Second Street Marvel. My fellow devil dog. Listen, like, share, subscribe. We out. Till next time. Remember the late great Don Cornelius and Chadwick both. I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and so we out.